Welcome back to another movie review. Today's movie we're going to be talking about is Evil Dead Rises. Let's get right into it. Horror movies. Horror movies have been probably having one of the greatest years it's had in a while. With movies like Obsession, with movies like The Backrooms, with movies like Send Help, horror movies have been killing it. And we have a famous franchise, Evil Dead Rises. Now, before I get right into this review, I've never watched the whole franchise of Evil Dead, so it's going to be a lot more like niche, you know? And let me just get right into it. I think this movie just goes towards the fans for that series. This is a very unique horror movie that I've watched, and I want to say it's not even horror. Like, there's no horror in it. It's a lot more like a gore, horror, funny movie. It's so weird for me to describe, because when you watch it and you're actually there and you want to like treat it like a traditional like horror movie, you won't get that. And the worst part is when you're watching this movie, it's telling the most uninspiring, typical cast of a family that's just fucked up, that has no redeeming factor. So you can't even relate to the characters, because it's like you want to, but they're just terrible. They're just terrible characters. You don't give a fuck about them. There's like the main character's a pussy. It's just, I don't know, man. It's not done well. And when you're watching it, I think the best parts is literally when the demon's there. I think the demon's the best character. I think that the demon actually was the funniest person behind the grandma. And that's so weird for me to say, because if you go into this horror movie expecting horror, expecting to be in your seat, like clenched up, scared, it's just not there. This isn't that type of movie. This movie's advertised as a horror movie, but it does nothing in that horror genre, if you know what I mean. And I think this is where I step back, where I feel like this is just the franchise of Evil Dead, where it's a lot more of like a comedy type horror. So I think if you're a casual and you try to go watch this movie, I don't think this movie is going to make you want to watch the other ones or the ones before. Like, for me personally, like it was an interesting watch, but as fun as it was watching the demon, as fun as it was watching the grandma, and yeah, some of the gore was fucked up if you're into gore. But the thing about gore is that when you watch something like Final Destination, it's building that whole tension for like 5 minutes. The gore just kind of happens in the movie, and there's certain parts where it just turns into a WWE fight. Like, they're over there just throwing each other on tables. They take like no damage, and then all of a sudden, boom, through a table, boom, chainsaw. This is such a unique movie that I feel like, yeah, it's unique, and it's probably gonna be something that you'll be watching and be like, oh, I've never seen that before. But there's nothing to make you go watch the series or watch this movie that's gonna make me be like, oh, I'm gonna go watch the other ones. It doesn't do that, because when you watch it, the characters are poorly written. The whole premise of the movie is kind of dumb, and it's just, I don't know, like, you're just there, and it's just, if there are certain parts in the movie where it is genuinely entertaining, but it's just far in between each other. It's such a whole mess, and that's where I feel like if you're an Evil Dead enjoyer and that's the typical movies, I think you will find enjoyment out of it, because that's what that whole franchise is built on. But someone like me, a casual in that series, I don't see myself wanting to go watch the other ones. That being said, I'm at like a 5 out of 10. I think if you're a fan, I don't know, but I feel like I'd be in the range of like a 7.5. Like, it was an okay movie if you're into that. It's just not a movie where I'm going to rewatch it and be like recommend it to anybody. That's just what it is. Stay safe.